team in the NFL, the best team in the NFC playoffs team, and that is the Green Bay Packers. Guys, when we look at this contenders or pretenders list, as of right now, these teams that I have right here, are they going to win a wild card game? That is what's going to make them a contender or pretender. Can they go in there and can they win a wild card game? So when we look at the Green Bay Packers, guys, they have their playoffs locked up. They have their playoffs locked up. They can get as high as a 6 seed, but they also could end up as a 7 seed, but more than likely they're going to end up as a 6 seed. They're going to end up playing the Seahawks or the LA Rams, which is currently the LA Rams as of right now. When you look at the Green Bay Packers versus playoff teams so far this season, they are 2-4 on this NFL season. When you look at the Green Bay Packers offensively, right? They are 4th overall on offense, averaging 377.7 yards per game. They're 12th in passing, averaging 230.4 yards per game. 4th in rushing with 147.3 yards per game. 7th in scoring at 27.5 points per game. And they're 11th in red zone scoring, and they score at a rate of 59.7% touchdowns when they're in the red zone. So clearly, guys, the Green Bay Packers have one of the most balanced, one of the most complete offenses in the NFL. When you look at their overall offense, when they're passing offense, and they're rushing, and they're red zone scoring, they are a well-balanced, oiled machine. And this is the time of year that Jordan Love starts to click on all cylinders. This is the time of the year when Jordan Love starts to say, hold my beer, look at me go, look at me cook, right? And not only is the offense top 5 or top 10 in damn near every stat category, you got to look at the defensive side of things as well. On the defense, they got the 6th overall defense, only giving up 312.1 yards per game. They're 9th in passing, giving up 209.7 yards per game. 8th in rushing at 102.5 yards per game. They're 6th in scoring, only giving up 19.1. But the only flaw of the Green Bay Packers from top to bottom that I'm going to name right here is a red zone defense. The red zone defense is ranked 20th in the NFL, giving up the opponents 60% of the time when they're in the red zone, they score a touchdown. So when we look at the Green Bay Packers, guys, are they contenders or are they pretenders going into this NFL or into the NFC playoff race? Can they win a wild card game? That is what is going to determine them being a contender or pretender. The Green Bay Packers, guys, have won 5 of their last 6. They have beaten the Bears 20-16. They've beaten the 49ers 38-10. They've beaten the Dolphins 30-17. They lost to the Detroit Lions at Detroit 34-31. Then they beat the Seahawks at Seahawks 30-13. And then they pitched the only shutout of the season versus the Saints last Monday night 34-0. Guys, the Green Bay Packers are contenders. It's simple as that. The Green Bay Packers are contenders. Not only are they going to win a wild card game versus the Seahawks or the Rams, more than likely going to be the Rams, but either or, right? They're going to beat both of those teams. The Packers have already beaten the Seahawks 30-13 just 2 weeks ago. They can beat the Rams, right? It is what it is. They're going to win their first round game. It doesn't matter. Hell, even if they drop down to a 7 seed and they got to play a team like the Philadelphia Eagles in the first round or the Detroit Lions, the simple fact of the matter is that they are going to beat those teams. It's simple as that. The Green Bay Packers are contenders. They're not only contenders, they are contenders in the divisional round. They're contenders in the championship round. Hell, they're even contenders in the Super Bowl round. Guys, the Green Bay Packers are the real deal. They have the most complete team from top to bottom. Offense, defense, special teams. Oh, by the way, they're damn near 100% healthy. Unlike other teams in the NFL, they are damn near 100% healthy. So, guys, I think that the Green Bay Packers are contenders. I think they are contenders. So in the comments below, guys, do you guys think the Green Bay Packers are contenders or pretenders in the NFC playoffs? Can they win their opening round, their wild card game versus probably the Seahawks or the Rams? Let's see what they got to say. Jim says, my hemorrhoids are flaring. Bigger news of the Chiefs' bad call against them. Zach is in the chat. He says the Packers do take this one. So Zach is saying the Green Bay Packers are contenders. I'm just saying. Aaron says, don't worry, he talks out of his ass in the first place. Okay, Aaron. I'm glad you're here, though, buddy. You know what? You are here, making me famous. Haters make you famous there, Aaron. Thank you for joining us here. Josh Olsen, Mr. Top Fan himself, says they're definitely contenders, and I think they will beat the Vikings on Sunday, 27-24. And Josh, I think you are exactly right. I think you are 100% correct. Yes, the Green Bay Packers are not that much battle tested, right? They are 2-4 versus playoff teams, but they're about to be 3-4, if not 4-4 versus playoff teams moving forward. I'm just call a spade a spade. The Packers are the real deal, but Jim says, whoa, slow it down, baby. Jim says the Packers will choke this Sunday. Vikings will defeat the Packers 27-21. And you know what, Jim? As I could honestly see the game going either way. The Packers legitimately have nothing to play for. Their playoff seed is locked up. I highly doubt they're going to drop down to the 7th seed because that means the Commanders have to win out for them to jump each other. And then even then, I still think the Packers somehow hold the tiebreaker. I have to look that up. But the Packers legit have nothing to play for. The Vikings have everything to play for on Sunday. Number 1 overall seed, respect, and this, right? So I'm not for sure how the Packers can choke because they have nothing to play for. If they win, yeah, they win. If they lose, yeah, it's just another loss. Whatever, it is what it is. It doesn't affect me one way or the other. The Vikings, they lose. It affects their whole season. It affects their whole fan base. It affects the whole narrative that this fan base is trying to manufacture the last 8 weeks, right? They can't choke. I just don't think it is. Darkland says the Vikings can beat anyone and lose to anyone. We'll be talking about the Vikings very, very short here, right? And Ash Fishin says, look at Sam Darnold's stats. I don't need to look at his stats. Right now, I'm looking at the Green Bay Packers stats. Casey Morgan says, wild card teams are not that good. This season has been such a lopsided season on teams you got. Good teams and really, really bad teams. They hardly bake many teams. So, Casey, is that way of you saying that every wild card team, so 14 teams, or would be what, 12 teams in the NFL playoffs are all bad teams? Like, and the only good teams are the Lions and the Chiefs? Interesting. And Darkland says, Love is overrated, by the way. How is Love overrated? Jordan Love, his default rookie season last year, yes, I know he was 3 or 4 years in the league, but his first year starting last season, he led a Green Bay Packers team that's comparable to the Minnesota Vikings team this season. Nobody had any stock in them whatsoever. All of a sudden, they win, 4 or 5 games in a row to end the season, come storming into the playoffs. Aaron Jones is rushing out of his mind. They go into Dallas, upset a Dallas Cowboys team that has not lost a home game at that particular point, like 14, 15 straight games, something crazy. And then they go toe-to-toe with the 49ers. How is Love overrated? What has Jordan Love, like, what kind of pedestal are you putting up on Jordan Love to say that he's overrated? Guys, Jordan Love is not overrated. No way, no how is Jordan Love overrated. I just don't see it. I don't understand it. So bring me a little bit of facts. Bring me a little bit of thoughts on it, because I do not think that Jordan Love is overrated at all. And Zach says, oh, hell no, don't ever put your faith in Sam. We'll be talking about the Vikings very, very soon here. Jim Powell says, Jordan Jacobs will smoke the Vikings. Contenders for sure. I agree with you, Jim. The Green Bay Packers are contenders, 100%. 100%. The Soy Sassin says, clearly pretenders. Sam Darnold will humiliate them on Sunday. And like, this is what a lot of the Vikings fans and Packers fans in general is, that this game on Sunday, Minnesota Vikings taking on the Green Bay Packers, I believe is at Lambeau Field, if I'm not mistaken. This game means nothing at all to the Green Bay Packers. These next 2 games of the NFL season mean nothing to the Green Bay Packers. They already had the playoffs locked up. They can't go higher than the 6th seed. The only thing below them is the 7th seed. I highly doubt they're going to drop down to the 7th seed. They pretty much got the 6th seed locked up. They're going to give you vanilla defense and vanilla offense the rest of the way. Let's just be honest. And many of those Green Bay Packers haters are going to be like, oh, you see, they can't even beat the Minnesota Vikings. You see, they can't even do this. They can't even do that. It doesn't matter because they're going to go into the playoffs. They're going to be 100% healthy. They're going to be clicking on all cylinders. They're peaking at the right time. They're primed to make a deep Super Bowl run. So it doesn't matter if Sam Darnold plays out of his mind on Sunday. It doesn't matter if Sam Darnold plays out of his mind week 18. It doesn't matter. It matters that the Green Bay Packers are going to be the 6th seed. They're going to beat the Rams in the first round. And then they're going to turn around and they're going to beat the number 1 seed, more than likely the Detroit Lions, in the divisional round. That is just what is going to happen. That's what's going to happen. Chill guy, UT, says, what do you say about Michael Penix Jr. way better than Kurt? I think Michael Penix Jr. is a better fit for the Atlanta Falcons, yes. Thick Love says week 16 and 17, I think it means 17 and 18 will tell a whole lot about the Green Bay Packers. No, it will not, Thick Love. Week 17 and week 18 means nothing for the Green Bay Packers. Do I need to repeat that again? It means nothing to the Green Bay Packers week 17 and week 18. The wild card weekend is when the Green Bay Packers will come to play. Wild card weekend is the weekend where the Green Bay Packers come up and say, hey, hold my beer, little boys. And that's just what it is. Matt Henry's in the chat. What's up, Matt? Good evening to you as well, sir, and happy holidays. Happy New Year, guys. What, New Year's is what? About 4 days away, 5 days away, whatever it is. Hope you guys are having a grand old holiday season here. So, Matt, be safe out there, buddy. Casey says, Steelers show us on Christmas that they're one and done. Well, we talk about the Steelers. Slow it down, baby. Slow it down. And Darkland says the Green Bay Packers are pretenders. They are pretenders. So Darkland is saying that wild card game, divisional round, it doesn't matter because they won't even make it to the playoffs. Well, they're not going to make it to the playoffs, but Rams are going to whoop that ass opening weekend. And God says, I do not like this guy. I don't give a shit if you like me or not. There, God did. The simple fact of the matter is I'm speaking facts here. The facts are the Green Bay Packers are contenders. They are contenders. And that's what's practical about YouTube and Facebook and whatever, man. You can click away. You can click away and go watch some other low production podcasts out there on Facebook. I give you the best quality, the best content, and we're live 6 days a week here, buddy. So it is what it is. Jim Powell says Brett Favre will send some food stamps to make sure Mark Gastineau are in the seats. Too soon, Jim. Too soon. Matt Ginley says they can definitely beat Seattle, but the Rams can run with them. And I agree with you, Matt. I think a better matchup would be the LA Rams take on the Green Bay Packers. However, I think the Packers are better at every aspect of the game right now versus the Rams. Better at quarterback play, better at running back, better at receiver, better at line, better at defense, better at special teams, better at coaching, right? I think they're just better coached. Two Old Wrestler Station says the Packers are chicken tenders. Listen, I think you're trying to be like they're bad, but listen, man, chicken tenders are freaking good. You put some dino nuggets in front of me and a little bit of ketchup, bada bing, bada boom, man, I am one happy man. And if the Green Bay Packers are chicken tenders, a.k.a. dino nuggets, ooh, they some happy boys. They some happy boys. Matt Henry says, with the number 1 pick in the 2025 draft, the New York selects draft Will Howard. Oh, get out of here. Get out of here. Jim says the Packers can't beat the Lions, Eagles, and Vikings. You see, Jim, they won't have to beat those guys in the first round to be considered a contender. They will only have to beat the Rams in the first round. And once you get that first playoff win under your belt, anything can happen. You can legit be the worst team in the playoffs, but you get that first win. You get the first win, bada bing, bada boom. It is a clean slate. It is 0-0. It is a new season. And if the Packers get the momentum going in that first wild card game, and then they go into Detroit or Minnesota in that next round, whoever it might be, it's a new ball game. They're going to whoop that ass. Yes, they may have been swept by the Vikings this season and the Lions. to be determined, right? But beating a team in a season is hard 3 times. That is the hardest thing to do in NFL sports, is to beat a team 3 times. Hell, it's the hardest thing to do in high school sports, in college sports. Beat a team 3 times. It's tough. It is tough. But Jim says they are pretenders. Green Bay Packers are pretenders. Okay, slow it down, baby. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. And God did says, hey, I hate this guy, but then he's in here commenting again. He says the Vikings beat the Packers the first time we played them. They did. And they'll probably beat them again on Sunday. Okay, it doesn't matter. Playoffs are a different animal. Sam Darnold has never been to the playoffs as a starting quarterback. Has Justin Jefferson or Jordan Addison ever been in the playoffs? I can't remember. I don't think so. Playoffs are a different animal. And Sale, the Viking, says, what is this? Shh, we are contenders. Well, we're talking about the Packers right now, so slow it down. Slow it down, baby. Ash said, keep talking your beard off, Swifty. Funny thing is, my last name is Swift. So, that's weird. Jordan Love is a 6 in QBR. How on earth could someone say he is overrated? John B., you are absolutely correct. 230 yards passing per game, 6th in QBR. I believe the last 6 games he only has 2 interceptions. Yes, he had a little streak of some interception issues there. By week 3 to about week 7, week 8, when he was dealing with those was a knee and a hamstring and an ankle injury. But yeah, ever since the bye week, right, he has come back and he's been definitely not overrated. So John, you are absolutely correct. John B, thank you for clearing that up. Jim says you are wrong. Pack at Minnesota, ding dong. Oh, I'm pretty sure that's what I said there, ding dong, but okay. And Josh says the Packers want to win this game. Why do the Packers want to win this game, Josh? Obviously beating a divisional opponent is great. Knocking the Minnesota Vikings off of their pedestal is great. But if it's a blowout, cool. It is what it is. If it's a close game and my quarterback might have this nagging ankle that just not quite right, or my running back has this hamstring that's just a little bit tight, they're going to set the bench in the fourth quarter. Because I'm more worried about the long-term goal. I don't care about beating a divisional opponent in week 17. I don't care about winning, getting second place in the division. I think they can still get the second place division. I'm not for sure. I don't care about all that. I care about long-term goals, and that's long-term success, and that's winning in the playoffs. I don't think the Packers could care less about this game. I'm just being flat honest. I don't think the Packers care about this game. And Josh says Love is underrated, if anything. You are correct. Jordan is peaking Brady level. Chill, guy, UT. Slow it down, baby. Many people try to compare quarterbacks to other quarterbacks, right? Patrick Mahomes to Tom Brady, right? Just their skill sets, their types of plays are just not quite the same, right? Jordan Love, I feel, is kind of just a laid back, whatever happens type of guy. Tom Brady was a rah-rah guy, right? I just don't see Jordan Love being that type of guy. Now, Jordan Love could potentially win 2 Super Bowls. Yes. If you're saying that, yeah, he could get on a run, and the Green Bay Packers could win a lot of Super Bowls. They are the youngest team in the NFL. They could win a lot of games, but slow it down. Let's not compare anybody to Tom Brady. Tom Brady is one of the greatest of all time. Not as great as Mr. Peyton Manning there, but he is one of the greatest of all times. Robert Garcia says, yes, the Packers are contenders. So are the Vikings, Rams, Lions, Washington, and every other playoff team. No, they're not. Not every playoff team can win, Robert. Now, this contender or pretender is, can they win their opening round game? That is the caveat on this Green Bay Packers team. Can they win their opening game? And I say that yes, they can, and that means they are a contender. Steven says, how are you not a good team with 13 wins? Come on, man. I don't know. Stay tuned and find out. Alpha Rob, my man, says Packers can make the NFC Championship game and chicken tenders are good, especially with the spicy ones. Thank you, Alpha Rob. Now somebody's making some sense out here. Chicken tenders is not a derogatory term. We love some chicken tenders, especially the spicy ones with a little bit of ketchup. Might get crazy, put some barbecue sauce on there, but damn. Alpha Rob, my man. Matt says the Rams are better receivers. Come on, Puka and Kupp are way more proven than the Green Bay receivers. And Puka is a really good receiver. However, Matt, have you ever watched Puka, like, just sit there and don't watch the Rams play, but just watch Puka play, right? Just single yourself on Puka. He is always putting himself in harm's way. He is always putting himself, like, I don't understand how he's not hurt every play, to be honest. And he dropped some big passes. Yes, Cooper Kupp is the real deal. Cooper Kupp is probably a Hall of Famer, right? So, like, I get it, but I would take the Green Bay Packers receiver core over the Rams receiver core right now, even though the Green Bay Packers drop all types of balls, make amazing catches, and then drop some, they're so up and down. But I would take the Packers receivers over the Rams receivers right now. Jalen says, who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl this year? That's the Kansas City Chiefs. I have to change my pick. Change my pick in the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay, so out of 9 meetings, the Vikings are up 5 wins to 4 losses. So we shut up now. If you lose, I'd like you to leave this to someone not to bypass. Don't even know what you're trying to say there, Jim. Total Risk Restoration said the Packers can still get the 5th seed. Yes, they can, right? They have to beat the Vikings and then win and then win week 18 as well. But do we legitimately see them beating the Lions and the not the Lions, I'm sorry. The Vikings and the why am I drawing a blank of who they play week 18? Let me look it up. Because the Lions and Vikings play week 18. They don't play the Bears, do they? It's got to be the Bears, isn't it? Yeah. So, I mean, I guess in theory they could. They got to beat the Vikings, got to beat the Bears. But I thought in some tiebreaker, it was like strength of victory tiebreaker. I thought the Vikings took a charge there. But total restoration, my fault on your name. You are correct. Looking at the record, they could get the 5th seed. You are correct. I stand corrected. Stand corrected. Casey says everyone forgets that most teams play very different in the playoffs, especially the ones that get there often. It makes regular season wins and losses not mean as much. True. Look at the Kansas City Chiefs. Ass Fishing says, take some money since you're going to be all negative and after your bets. I'm not being negative. I don't think I've been negative at all, Ass Fishing, but thanks for the super chat, man. But I don't think I've been negative. Have I? I don't know. Josh Olsen says Kristen Watson and Jalen Reed are really, really good. They are really good. They also have really big drops, right? So it's kind of a catch-22 at this point. Andrew's Paradise is back in the chat today. What's up, Andrew? He says that they do play the Bears week 18, and the Vikings need to lose to the Lions. So, okay. So there is a path for them to get the 5th seed. I thought they were totally locked into the 6th seed. That was my mistake. That was my mistake. I will stand corrected on that one. Thank you guys for correcting me on that one. And King Henry says the Vikings are frauds. That's a perfect transition into our next topic.